Another huge topic that comes up when it comes to candidates pursuing a firefighter career is, is firefighting for me? Is it something that I can do? And that is a huge cause of concern for a lot of candidates out there, especially the ones that don't really know what the fire service is all about. They think firefighting and they think it's just fighting fires, and that's really not what our career is. That's a very, very small percent or fraction of what we do as firefighters. The first thing that I want to talk to you about before we get into the discussion of our video is you really need to understand what your purpose or what your why is. Like, why are you pursuing the career of a firefighter? Like, what motivates you to take this career path, amongst all the other career paths out there? You really need to be diligent about diving deep into who you are as a person and what you want out of your life. And if firefighting is for you. One of the things that I'm going to tell you in regards to figuring out, if firefighting is for you, you need to get out there and network, go ride along at other fire departments and other fire stations and figure out, if you can vibe with the atmosphere and the fire department culture and the day-to-day operations, because that's how you're really going to figure out, hey, is this something that I feel like I can do for a career for the rest of my life, 25 plus years. Now, with all that being said, I'm going to give you 6 reasons why firefighting isn't for you. And this isn't an end-all be-all list. I can cover a whole bunch of different topics when it comes to the fire service. But in my personal opinion, I feel like these are some of the strongest topics in regards to reasons why firefighting isn't for certain individuals. The first being claustrophobic. If you're that individual that doesn't do well in small, tight spaces, putting on hot turnout clothes and wearing an SCBA and a mask, it's going to be very problematic for you, because we as firefighters, that's what we utilize when we go on fire emergencies. We're in uncontrolled environments all the time, even on EMS calls, but especially during, structural fires or any type of fire calls. So if you're that individual that struggles with this topic, maybe you want to start working on that leading up to you actually pursuing the career of a firefighter, and see if it's something that you can overcome and work with. The second being heights. If you're that individual that's afraid of heights, that's something that you might want to start working on, leading up to you actually pursuing a firefighter career. Because it's no secret, we as firefighters, especially on structural firefighters, we go vertical and we cut holes for vertical ventilation to, help suppress fires. Not only that, in the fire academy, as a fire recruit, we have to climb a 100-foot, 105-foot ladder to actually pass the fire academy. So if it's something that you struggle with when it comes to heights, you might want to start working on that and see if you can overcome that, that fear of heights, so you can actually pursue the career of a firefighter.
We need to know that these guys can perform and can do the job that may be required of them on the fire ground, i.e. climbing a ladder and rescuing someone from an upper floor, or doing some work at an upper floor. If they can't do that, then they can't be a firefighter. So for them, this is a make or break as far as requirements of the academy.
And the third topic is sleep. If you're that individual that doesn't operate well on a lack of sleep, then the fire service may not be for you. I can't speak for every specific fire department or every fire station in regards of like what their call volume's like, but in a general sense, we as firefighters endure a high call volume on a shift and daily basis. So perfect example is if I work a 24-48, where I'm working 24 hours on and I'm off 48 hours, we may have a stand-up 24 every third day, having call volumes from the start of shift all the way through the end of shift the next morning. And that's honestly a reality for a lot of firefighters and fire departments out there. So if it's something that you can't handle when it comes to, being sleep deprived, then firefighting may be a challenge for you, because that's kind of what our career is. We respond to any and every emergency. And there's a lot of fire departments out there, just like my own, that operates on a CSU capability, which means, customer service unit. So any and every call that comes in, emergency, non-emergency, whatever the call is, we have to respond. That's part of our capabilities. So in regards to that, anytime a citizen calls for whatever reason, it doesn't matter, we have to respond. So that can be at any given point during our, our tour or our shift. So if a lack of sleep is going to be a problem for you, then the career of a firefighter might be a problem for you. So it's something that you may want to consider in regards to pursuing a firefighter career in the first place. And the fourth topic being money. Unless a candidate has done their research, well in advance to figure out, what a firefighter salary is in their particular fire department, many candidates don't really know what firefighters make. They may see firefighters and, the latest vehicle or, the nice big house and all the toys and gadgets. That's really not a reality for a lot of firefighters out there. And honestly, those firefighters tend to have, side gigs or, businesses, or, they're just in way over their heads. That's kind of like a very small portion of actual firefighters out there. Now, in a general sense, we as firefighters, make a comfortable living, obviously with, having certain benefits and certain salary ranges. I think it ranges from like, the mid to high 40s to the low 50s in a general sense. So simply put, you're not going to be rich becoming a firefighter, you know, in regards to the actual career and the salaries and the benefits that you get as a firefighter, not anything else that you do. Like, truly understand that. So if you know, coming into a fire career and you see you make, you know, $42,000 or $48,000 a year, if that's going to be a problem for you, then maybe you need to reconsider a career, and firefighting may not be for you. And the fifth topic being call type. You know, without getting too far in the weeds or being too graphic, if you can't handle blood, death, you know, horrific or tragic scenes, even like our non-emergency calls, you know, if you can't handle being in patients, you know, disgusting houses or whatever the case is, if that's going to be a problem for you, then truly the career of a firefighter isn't going to be for you. Because, you know, you think firefighter as a brand new candidate, and you think, oh, you know, yeah, I'm going to go fight fire, and man, that's exciting. But it's like, that's a very, very small percent or fraction of what we do as firefighters. You know, over 90% of what we do is, you know, medical emergencies, EMS calls. So a lot of those calls are those horrific scenes that I was just talking about, you know, where you see death and you see a lot of blood or whatever the case is. And it may not be every shift, every day, but then again, it can. That's the nature of our job, is we got to be ready to respond to those calls at any given point. And we have to keep our professionalism and mitigate and make a difference when it comes to those emergencies. So if you're that individual that's going to struggle with, you know, the different call types that you're going to experience through your career, then you really need to reconsider choosing the career path of a firefighter. And the sixth and final topic is, you know, if you're not a team player, you're not team oriented, or you're not a role player, then firefighting definitely isn't going to be for you. Because you, as a new fire member coming into the fire service, you have to be the most humble, egoless, and hardworking person that is on the job. It's a rite of passage. All of us been through it. So when you come in as a new firefighter, you're going to be working harder than everybody, you know, cleaning extra, doing extra, you know, restocking, doing everything that you possibly can to show, you know, the members of the department that they didn't make a mistake hiring you, and that you're going to earn your keep around here and earn your respect. Because honestly, everything when it comes to the fire service, it's all built on reputation, okay? It takes a long time to build up a great reputation, but it takes literally one event, 1 second to actually ruin your reputation. So when it comes to the team-oriented or team player or role player atmosphere, you really need to know your role. We as firefighters, we're task-oriented, okay? We have lieutenants, captains, engineers, you know, senior firefighters, new firefighters, whatever the case is. We all have specific tasks that we have in a given shift that we have to execute so we're successful as a team, so we can all go home safe to our families. So if you're that person that rides solo, that isolates himself, and that isn't about the team, then the career of a firefighter isn't for you. You may want to reconsider the career path that you choose. There's a lot of different topics that I can cover in regards to why firefighting may not be for you. You know, perfect examples is, you know, fire department traditions and culture, you know, being thick skin versus thin skin. A lot of what we do as firefighters is coping with the stressors of the job. And a lot of what we do is, you know, jabbing at each other and, you know, cracking jokes and making light of situations. Some people can't handle that. Another example would be, you know, extra work. And what I mean by extra work is like when it comes to, you know, volunteer, charity, or union events, you know, getting involved, being a part of committees. And a lot of that goes with having a great reputation and being that soldier that you said you were going to be in your firefighter interview, talking about putting your boots on the ground and working hard for the department. That all goes into that. And there's a whole bunch of other topics that I can cover in regards to why firefighting may not be for you. But the top 6 that we covered, I feel like it's the strongest in regards to helping candidates decide if the career of a firefighter is for them. Honestly, with that 6 that I talked about and how I told you, you need to get out and network and go right along with other fire departments and fire stations to see if it's truly something that you want to do. That is going to be a huge and vital component to you figuring out if the career of a firefighter is something that you should even pursue in the first place. So get out there, network, go right along with fire departments, and get involved. All right, you guys, now it's your turn. I really want to start doing more Q&A style videos. So what I need from you is, you know, any questions that come up or concerns that you have, start throwing a lot of them down into the comments so I can start pulling from those and start creating videos from it. Those questions that you have can help the next candidate, because a lot of people out there aren't going to reach out to me and aren't going to ask the questions that you're going to ask, and they may have the same questions. So I really want to start doing some of those, you know, within our monthly videos. All in all, I really appreciate you guys always being here. Stay consistent out there, and I'll catch you on the next one. Good luck, future firefighter.